Hello and welcome to episode 568 of Fergo on the Freak. I'm the bloke from Rugby League Project, Andrew Ferguson. You can find me on Twitter at AndrewRLP. And join me as always is the glorious LeagueFreak. You can also find on Twitter at LeagueFreak. How you going there, mate?
I'm going very well, Andrew. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's only been a few minutes since the last episode, hasn't it?
I know. Finals time. I love finals time. Hey, the weather starts to warm up a little bit. You got the best teams playing. The only thing I hate is that there's not as many games to watch because I love watching my footy.
Yes. And we've had some great games in the last few weeks, have we?
Well, there's been some absolute duds, but there has been a couple of them that have been kind of interesting and enjoyable. But it's good that we're now at the point where the finals start and every game is just huge ramifications, historical ramifications, obviously. And, we'll see how it all plays out over the next month.
Yeah, so one thing I will raise, because obviously that's been a while since the last episode. A few weeks ago, there was a lot of furor amongst the, in brackets, betting community when Penrith decided to rest basically everyone, and was it for their game against the Bulldogs?
Yeah, 16 players they rested.
Yeah, and everyone lost their collective shit over the fact that Penrith did that. I don't know why, because it's been done before by a lot of, maybe not to the same extent, but every club's done it before that have been going into the finals.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Canberra did a very similar thing the week after, and we heard nothing but crickets when they did it.
Yeah, I think Canberra arrested 11 players from memory, which is still a lot. But, yeah, and like rugby league is a sport that is played to win the title. It's not just a sport that is run for betting purposes like horse racing, greyhound racing, the trots or cricket. They're only played for betting purposes these days. But, so it's like if they were upset about it betting-wise, that's fine. Just don't have a market for it. That's fine.
Easy fix.
Yeah, done. I sorted it.
Interesting, though, that game, that Canterbury versus Penrith, the Bulldogs scratched their way to a 28-4 victory. And I immediately thought that says a lot more about where the Bulldogs are at than what it did about Penrith.
Yeah, a little bit. I think there is a little bit about Penrith's depth there, but, yeah, it's a lot more about the Bulldogs.
Because we saw the week after, the Bulldogs were, I'm going to say, dominated by the Sharks. And it wasn't a huge scoreline. They were dominated physically through the middle. And I went, ooh. And it's not like the Sharks have got a bad pack. They've got a pretty strong pack, especially in the middle of the field, their front rowers and their lock. And, speed out a dummy half from Brayley. You just look at it and go, they owned that dog side.
Yeah.
And I've never really been so, unconvinced about a top four side in a long time than I am with that Bulldog side.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll get to it when we talk about the upcoming games for the finals. But, yeah, there's a couple of teams in this final series and I guess it's a result of the season being so close, and normally what you get is the cream rises to the top, where the season has been so close. You could literally have a couple of good weeks in a row, like the Roosters, and find yourself in the top 8, and have a few bad weeks in a row, like the Dolphins, and just plummet out of it. If you look at the Panthers as a good example of this, at one point they looked like they were definitely going to be a top 4 side, and they lost a couple of games in a row, and that was it. They ended up finishing 7th because of it, So I think that's what's accounting for some of this. But yeah, the Bulldogs, there's some issues there. I really worry about how they're going to go.
Not convincing.
No.
Last week, some crazy scores. So for me, Manly beating the Warriors 27-26. I wasn't surprised that Manly won. I was surprised at how bad the Warriors were in that game.
Yeah, because the Seagulls weren't great, which is the crazy thing.
And the Warriors lost the week before against Parramatta. and they struggled the week before that against the Titans. There's another team that I'm really not convinced in at all on what they'll be able to do in the finals. Roosters have been playing pretty damn well, although they did lose 30-10 to Parramatta 3 weeks ago. Although can't downplay Parramatta too much. They've been playing much better the last month.
Yeah, they've been great. They finished their season great.
I mean, they've been playing in the last month or so. They've been playing a lot better than most of the teams in the top 8 have been. So
yeah.
Melbourne have been hit and miss, but their form over the last 2 weeks is hard to go by because they rested a lot of players. But even before that, they were scoring high-scoring victories, which is never great because it means there's still issues with their defence. Penrith, it's hard to gauge given how many changes they've made to their side.
Yeah.
Their win against the Dragons, again, it wasn't convincing. Like, they won 40-20, but I mean, at the same time, you let that pedestrian attack score 20 points. That's a problem.
Yeah, and like the best thing that came out of that game is that there was really no issues. I know I think Mitch Kenny pulled a hammy at training after it, but that was the main thing for Penrith. There were no injuries and no suspensions, and they got a run under their belt going into the finals. But yeah, like I think that of all of the teams in the final, I was thinking about this in this last weekend of games, right? If we end up with a grand final of Penrith versus Melbourne, it's going to feel like, why didn't we see this coming from a mile away, you know? But the thing is, Melbourne, who we thought were going to romp this season home because they had no losses in terms of personnel, they've been up and down all year. They've been unconvincing all year. And we know how Penrith started the season before they went on that big run. Yeah. And I think the thing that all of us are kind of thinking about is like, what if that monster emerges out of that Panthers team again, where we all of a sudden we're watching a finals game and we're like, oh my God, this is the greatest team ever, you know? And because we've seen it so many times over the last few years. But the other teams that are there in the finals, there's a lot of convincing that needs done about pretty much all of them.
I'm going to say, coming into every final series, most people have always got an idea as to who at least one of the teams in the grand final is going to be.
Yeah.
I just don't know this year. It's not because the finals are going to be tough and tight. It's more, I've got question marks over nearly all of the teams there.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. There's just been consistency issues for a lot of the teams this year. Like, no team's been out there just absolutely smashing it out of the park, except for Canberra. But about Canberra, they've had a very friendly draw.
Oh, you can't say that, Andrew. You're not allowed to say that.
Okay, friendly's probably the wrong word. Soft.
Easy, soft, weak. Can we say weak, soft?
Very, very
You're just
soft.
part of the Sydney media that hates Canberra, obviously.
Look, guilty as charged. Very, very soft draw. They've been let off the hook big time all season long. So it's kind of crazy how that's worked out, I guess.
Well, look, and we went through in the last episode the things to worry about with Canberra. The first one being that their major playmaker has won one of just 4 finals games that he's played in. And then you've got a lot of young guys who you never know how they're going to go in a finals game. But from watching rugby league long enough, relying on young guys, normally, I mean, sometimes it can work out. 2003 Panthers, all young dudes, first grand final, that didn't faze them one bit. But there's a lot of stories about the young guy that was freaked the fuck out in their first finals games. And that's why you normally see experienced teams win finals games, because they need those experiences to go through. And so they're going to have to prove it, you know, and they're going to have to get the job done. And I think that let's talk about these games. Let's talk about these finals games.
Well, I was going to say, just to sort of prove the whole soft draw thing for Canberra, okay?
Okay, let's do that and then we'll talk about it.
Do you know how many times they've played against a team at the time of the game?
Mm-hmm.
Their opponent has been a top 8 side this year. So
In the
to
whole
give you
season.
all season. So to give you a few markers, okay. Cronulla's had 10 opponents. The Warriors 11, Roosters and Dolphins 12, the Bulldogs 11, Melbourne 13.
I'm going to say 8.
5.
Oh my God.
It's been that soft. And you know what? The points difference out of those 5 games is 10.
Holy
They've had
shit.
four wins and 1 loss, and the points difference is 10. They've got the wins, but they have struggled to win.
That's got to be one of the softest draws ever.
It is ridiculously soft. So they have not been tested. So while they're at the top of the ladder and they look dominant, they've just not been tested. And as for the narrative about, things like people always say, the Sharks never beat teams in the top 8. They've won 6 of their 10 games against top 8 sides, as have, Warriors have won 6 of 11.
Mm-hmm.
Roosters have won 7 of 5. Canterbury 7 of 4. 7 wins, 4 losses. Roosters won 7, lost 5. Nearly all of them have got a 50% or better record.
Yeah.
Penrith have struggled.
Yeah.
Because they played most of their top 8 sides at the start of the year when they were on the losing streak.
Yeah.
But even still, they had 3 wins, 4 losses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not disgraceful. But, Canberra have had it very easy.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that. I thought I was going low with. I thought I was going low with 8. Wow.
So that's the problem they've got. They know, and they'll know it. They haven't been tested this year.
Well, let's talk about these finals games. So the first one up is Manly. It's Manly. Manly 8 in it. It's Melbourne versus the Bulldogs. The winner gets a week off. They go straight through to the preliminary final, and the loser gets a second chance. I just think that this Bulldogs team, who have made another change on their bench that will affect their spine, they've brought Sexton back into the 17. They've dropped Reid Marnie. The Lachlan Galvin addition has been a catastrophe for a team that was running hot at the top of the ladder, who looked great, and they look as you say, super unconvincing. Their attack looks very pedestrian. They go side to side so much, and on top of that, they've got a few injury concerns. And I just think that Melbourne, who don't look amazing themselves at the moment, I think the institutional knowledge of how to get it done in the finals should see them beat the Bulldogs.
Their defence will be all over Galvin, and they will be shutting him down hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that sideways stuff you mentioned, that's just going to go on. That's going to be the Bulldogs game for too much of the match, because that's what teams do when one of their halves is shut down. They'll just go sideways a lot. We mentioned it before, why didn't they consider moving Burton to either fullback or centre and putting Galvin at 6? Because that's his natural position. He's out of position, and now they don't have a genuine playmaker because they're running with 2-5-8s. And that's the reason why their attack has been so flat and so pedestrian.
Yeah, and the weird thing is it's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
If they had have just left Sexton in there, who made a great combination with Burton, and it looked like, they sorted it out. They finally sorted their halves out. And they've messed with everything all year at the end of the year, and it's taken them from looking like, wow, this Bulldogs team, they're something. They're going to be interested in the finals to I think I write them off. I think I've written them off. And it's crazy to see because they've done it to themselves.
Well, I've got a few stats here for all of these games.
Okay.
The Bulldogs' last finals win was 10 years ago.
Wow.
They've only played 3 games since then. They've lost all 3 of them. Mm-hmm. Including playoffs, this will be the Bulldogs' 100th finals appearance.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
And the Storm have won 9 of their last 10 games against the Dogs.
Holy shit. That's not good.
Yeah, I'm going Melbourne in this one.
Yeah, Melbourne is so good at home in the finals.
Yes.
it's not somewhere you want to go and play.
No, that's right. So I think Storm will be comfortable in this one.
So the next game, the New Zealand Warriors host the 4-time defending premiers Penrith Panthers. This is on a Saturday afternoon, Sydney time. It's Sunday evening, New Zealand time. The Warriors have, since they lost their halfback, the last third of the season has been just terrible for the Warriors.
Yep.
They've looked really, really poor, and it's understandable because they lost their halfback. I think that would happen to most teams.
Mm-hmm.
And Penrith, I think we're all expecting them to come out and really put it on in the finals. They're not the team they've been in the past, but they've still got a lot of monsters in their team that we've seen become legends. And it would be incredibly shocking if the Warriors won. It's possible, but I just can't see it happening. I just think that Penrith are gonna Penrith the shit out of this game.
Yeah, look, a feature of Penrith's last 4 years, which hasn't been as prominent this year, has been their defence.
Mm-hmm.
It just hasn't been as consistent this year. There's been periods when they went on that winning run in the second half of the season where we started to see it again, where they just choked teams out of the competition, just, did enough to win the game on the scoreboard, and that's all they had to do.
Yeah.
Which is what they've done the last 2 years especially. We've seen the Panthers starting to turn up the attack a bit more this year in the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. So they're putting more points on the board. So they're taking the scoreboard pressure away, but they're still conceding more points than they usually would. However, given how much this Warriors side has struggled to score points, yeah, I find it hard to see how this match won't just be a Panthers win. This will be the 4th time they've met in finals. The Penrith have won all of the 3 games previously.
Mm-hmm.
As we've mentioned in the last episode, Penrith have won their last 12 straight finals games. And they've won 19 of their last 24 games against the Warriors since 2012.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's not even recency bias of since they've been, top team in the comp.
Yeah.
They've been dominating them for 13 years.
It's crazy. The Mitch Kenny's a big loss for the Panthers. His defence was going to be huge. And, their backups are nowhere near as good as he is, unfortunately. But, yeah, they should still get the job done. They'll play the percentages. The Warriors have to almost go the opposite way. And I can't see them beating the Panthers if they play the percentages. They need to be kicking for the corners and hoping they get some tries off of their wingers, just being bigger and stronger. They need to really go after it and try a few different things.
They've got to attack the Panthers' edge defenders too, because that's where some of the holes are in the Panthers' defensive line.
Yeah.
They need to run on those corridors on the edges of the ruck a lot. Don't get bugged in the middle because they'll lose.
Yeah.
That's where they've got to be. So Fisher Harris, if they were smart, they put Fisher Harris in the second row somewhere, just have him run them wider.
That would be interesting doing that. I just can't. Everything that I know about rugby league says Penrith should win, but Penrith, I don't know. It's a weird one. There's so many games like that though, where like if you go through all of these games and say, okay, what does everything tell you this team would win? You'd go that one, really quick, right?
Yep.
And then you'd say you're confident. You'd be like, oh no, I'm so like. It just feels like that first round, and that's what's going to make it fun to watch because, we're going to see some upsets, I reckon, but who knows which games they'll be in.
That's right. It's hard to even know what an upset looks like now in the finals.
I guess the other thing to watch in this Panthers-Warriors game is, and it'll be something every team will be watching, if the otherworldly Panthers turn up in this game and just put it on the Warriors, and there's always the possibility that after that game we're all going like, oh shit, they're here,
Yeah.
There's that possibility. So that's what's going to make that game interesting as well.
Agreed.
So the next game, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks are taking on the Sydney City Roosters at Endeavour Oval. How about that one, Andrew?
Endeavour Park.
Yeah. Was it a park or an oval?
It's a park.
Okay, it's a park.
Yeah.
Barely. That's on Saturday evening, 7:30. 8 o'clock Sydney time. I think it's really weird. A month ago, I think we did a podcast where I said the Sharks are gone. They're fucking gone, mate. The Sharks aren't gone. They look really good coming into this game.
Yeah.
They look really, really good. And I think that the Roosters, they've looked good at times against some shit teams. And I think the Roosters are going to be made to look very, very second rate in this game by a Sharks team that is playing really good footy.
The Sharks have named a monster fucking bench.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done that the last 2 weeks. And in both games those last 2 weeks, they've dominated the opposition, especially in the second half on the field. I kind of expect something like that will happen in this one. What have we got here? They've played 3 finals games in the past, and the Roosters won all 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Sharks have won 50 of their last 66 games at Endeavour Field.
Wow.
Against sides outside the top 4.
Oh, wow.
That's some dominance right there.
That really is, isn't it?
And in recent times, both of them have atrocious finals records. The Roosters have won just 3 of their last 10 finals games, and the Sharks have won just 2 of their last 12.
Yeah, I think this is the best I've seen the Sharks look like with a team that is under the salary cap and without any performance-enhancing drugs since probably the early 2000s.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think there was a team, was it 2001? 2002, somewhere around there, that early 2000 Shark side, man, they looked like they should have gone close to winning a premiership. That side was insane.
They were very good. I just think this game, I think that they're just going to put it on the Roosters in this one. It's a shame that more people won't be able to fit into Endeavour Park. But, you got to take what you can get, I guess. I just think the Roosters are pretenders. I really do.
Yes.
Now, the last game. The Canberra Raiders at Bruce Stadium take on the Brisbane Broncos. And if I had to put my money on which team we're going to look at after round 1 and say, oh my fucking God, who is stopping them? It would be the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah.
You're not convinced?
I'm just not convinced on either of these sides. I really don't know what the hell's going to happen here. Mm-hmm. There's a stat that I found which is alarming.
Okay.
Brisbane have lost all of their last 10 finals games played away from Suncorp Stadium since 2009.
Holy shit. I did not know that.
And at the same time, I'm not convinced by Canberra, given how soft their draw's been.
These teams remind me a little bit of each other. Big forward packs.
Oh, bloody oath.
Lots of young backs. And I think one of the things that goes in Brisbane's favour is they do have at least some finals experience in that side from when they got to the grand final a couple of years ago. And they will have that burning within them, that what happened in that game. We were ready to crown them champions. They were that good.
Yeah.
And I could just see this Raiders team coming out against a team that has that burning within them, and the Broncos just go to that place and just give the Raiders a lesson. I could see that happening.
And similarly, the Raiders' second halves in the last few weeks have been very strong.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's hard to pick. Other thing too, it'll be the 30-year anniversary since the last time they played a finals game against each other.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just madness.
Remember how many times it was like in the 90s, it was like, Canberra and Brisbane, Canberra, and they never got a grand final.
They just kept missing out.
And they basically have missed playing each other in the finals even. Yep. So it's insane, hey?
It is. I think I'm so torn on this one. I think I'll go with Canberra in a close one.
Okay.
But I also think it might be their only win of the final series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If Canberra does lose, they basically go over to the same side as the draw as the Storm.
Yes.
So, and I only bring that up because that's kind of crazy to think about the Storm and the Raiders being on the same side of the draw if the Raiders lose this game. So yeah, it's going to be a real good first week of the finals though. Like there's so many different things to keep an eye on.
Yeah. So who are you going for in that one?
I'm going for the Broncos. I think their experience. I think they're in good form right now. I think despite their halves getting injured a few weeks ago, they settled on their backup halves, and their backup halves have worked well. And it just feels like it's working out for them in a weird way a little bit. You know, Hunt has been good. Walters has been good. They're just getting the job done. And their forward pack has been getting the job. I just like a lot of what they're doing right now. And I just think that I feel like this first finals game for the Raiders was always going to be a little bit helter-skelter. And if they're playing helter-skelter and the Broncos are playing helter-skelter, which I think that's basically what they do whenever they win, it could be just this crazy game. So what's the difference? The Broncos, weirdly, for a pretty young Broncos team, I think it's going to be their finals experience.
It's not going to be the performance-enhancing routine that Reece Walsh has recently revealed that he's into?
I don't want to talk about that because it leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
Sour?
Oh, well, sweet.
Bitter.
Sweet, beautiful. I wasn't going to bring it up, but if you're not following Reece Walsh's routine, well, then you're doing something wrong. And let me tell you, I don't think many kids listen to our podcast, but kids, drink the toilet water.
Yeah.
It's good for you. It's good. It's really good for you. It's endorsed by Reece Walsh. Drink the toilet. I had so many people saying, what about when kids drink toilet water? And I was thinking, man, your kids must be fucking dumb.
Yeah, so I think there's been enough examples in the past few years of NRL players not being good role models to make parents go, you know what, let's not let these people be role models.
Exactly.
But no, we'll continue. We'll continue with them. Shall we go through and have a look at the teams that aren't in the finals and give them a bit of a rough sort of grading on how we think their season went?
Yeah, I reckon that's a good idea. Let's go from 9th down to last.
That sounds good. All right, so 9th place, we've got the Dolphins.
I just, the way that they crashed and burned at the end of the season was fucking unbelievable. And that's the only thing that I can think about the whole season. They had some good moments. They played some really good footy, but man, they were in the final. If they had just done anything in the last 2 months, they're in the finals.
Their attack was so insanely good this year. They finished the season as the only team to average over 30 points per game.
Yeah.
So they were the best attacking team of the season. They scored 41 points more than the second best side, which was the Broncos.
And I think the thing for them is this year, Katoa, their halfback, went from being a very good prospect to just flat out very good.
Yeah, like this kid is elite. He's carrying this side.
Yeah.
They've still got depth issues, and that's what we got out of this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because the second half of their seasons, in previous years they fell apart. This year they didn't fall apart, but they went up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they had a final spot locked in. They were racking up massive win after massive win, and then Nicarima got injured.
You know who got injured was a big one for them was Herbie Farnsworth.
Yes.
He got injured. I think Nicarima got injured for a couple of weeks there.
Yeah.
That kind of put him off, and then Farnsworth went for the season, and he was a massive loss for them because he was not just their attack, but he gives them this weird go forward out wide because he's a big dude, and sometimes it can really help them get on a bit of a roll off the back of him. So yeah, it's they need to fix that depth problem if they're going to, carry through a whole season. But I guess there were some good signs there, and they were fun to watch. They were really fun to watch this year.
Absolutely. 10th place was Manly. They finished on the same competition points, but their points difference was just 21. So ironically, it's exactly the same points difference for the Warriors.
We got an email about Manly. Should I read the email?
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Okay. Is my email's going to log me out? Isn't that great timing? Don't you love it when it happens?
Is the email from Mark Carroll by chance?
No, it actually happened. It's an email from James. It says, subject, Manly all over the shop. Hey, boys, Manly seems to be all over the shop lately, and perhaps not just lately. Beat Melbourne one week, pummeled by the Dogs the next, humbled by the Tigers, put on a near cricket score on the Dolphins. I did notice something else that was strange in round 24 match against the Tigers. Manly scores in the first minute of the game, then they don't score again until the 79th minute. Surely that must be a record of time elapsed between scores in a game. Probably no way to prove that one way or the other, so I'll claim it. Fuck it. Let's just claim it. Cheers, boys. James. So, James was...
Mate, he should have said himself Hooper. The way he's going on about, I don't know if it's a fact or not, but I'll just claim it anyway.
Nah, it's not James Hooper. It's our James. That's how I felt. They were just... Manly were everywhere this year. Like, they would put in a really good performance against a good team and then just show nothing against a bad team. I think Daly Cherry Evans had that season we both worried about where it just is over, and I think it's pretty much over for him, and that's okay. He's had a really great long career, and even Daly Messenger retired. But, all the leaks out of the club were fucking disturbing. There's even talk today that Trebojevic is trying to get a deal at the end of his career to play in Super League, which I don't know how much money he knows is there or not. But then I
wouldn't be surprised if he's just going over there, not because he's chasing money, but because he'll be able to have extra years on his career over there.
Possibly. Yeah. Softer grounds, not as much work, not as hard tackles, not as much training, not as much money. That's always going to be in your bank account unless someone takes out a fucking payday loan.
Or if he goes to, we're getting sidetracked now, or if he goes to the London Broncos, who have now got a new 90% owner.
Mate, don't fucking start me on that shit. Fucking what a load of crap.
So, the word going around today is that Darren Lockyer has become the 90% owner of the London Broncos.
I'm going to put us in a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
So, come into my time machine, Andrew. Watch your step. Okay. Just close the door.
Are we going back to kill Hitler as a baby?
No, we're doing something way more important. We're going into the future. We're going into the future. Okay, just let me put in, what is it, 2035? Okay, let's step out. Oh, look, it's 2035. Wow, this is different. Wow, the iPhone looks the exact same. That's crazy.
We've only recorded 9 extra episodes.
Remember when Darren Lockyer used to own the London Broncos? Wasn't that an interesting 3 years before they went bust and he just walked away from it and now somebody else owns it as a community club for a while, but then they went broke again and they've been broke 3 times since. That was a weird 10 years ago, hey?
Did you see this article here? They call the London Broncos the next Salford Reds.
Oh, wow. I can't even remember who the Salford Reds are. Aren't they? They were the Salford Reds, but aren't they the fucking Edinburgh fucking Blue Devils now?
Oh, I don't know, man. I lost track of what happened there once Neil Wood bought them.
Hang on, while we're here, let me just. I know we're not supposed to do this, but I just want to double check. Gray's Sports Almanac, Super League winners. No. Warrington's not there. Okay, so some things just haven't changed. Hey, Warrington still hasn't won.
Did Warrington lose in the semi-finals in all of those years? Or did they actually get to a grand final?
They lost, let me go through, for the 10 years. Okay, so they lost to OKR, they lost to Wigan again. Then they lost to Hull FC, so Hull FC gets a bit better. Lost to St Helens. What the fuck? They lost to Toulouse. That's an interesting one. Toulouse looks like they had a good season that year. Toulouse again. Edinburgh Blue Devils. So that's good to see.
They had a good year.
And to St Helens again. So, yeah, they just couldn't get the job done. Wow. How about that?
Mate, if they keep that up, people might start calling them chokers.
Yeah, well, yeah. Actually, that's an interesting point. Come back in. Come step back in, right?
Okay.
Yeah. 1995. Okay, right? Yeah, open the door. Hey, look, there were jokers back here too. Oh, man, how good is this?
But hey, look, Salford weren't crap here.
Oh.
I mean, they're crap on the field, but they're not crap financially.
Oh, yeah, no, the debt's not that bad this time, I guess. So, if you're not making any money, I guess you're not losing any money either.
Should we tell them what's going to happen in the future so they can? No, let's not do that.
I don't think anything bad's going to happen in the next few years in rugby league. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Salford really need that new stadium.
Well, that new stadium's only like 18 months away from being built in 1995, so it's going to be really good. That is going to set them up financially in 1998 when it's opened. So, should we go and check out the World Cup in 2000?
I mean, we have to, don't we?
Okay, come on, let me close this door. The door's really quiet, hey.
Yeah, I like it. It's like those drawers that you get in new homes with the cutlery in it, where it just slides along and just slows down as it gets to the end.
Yeah, that's a soft closing thing. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah,
and I put a shitload of WD-40 on the hinges.
See, I thought you just had a new cologne.
No. Well, look, it wasn't WD-40. It was a lubricant of some kind. Okay, let's not get into it. It was.
Yeah, if you get into WD-40, mate, then
Dude, I took this thing back to the 60s and it got weird, all right? Just let's not talk about it, all right?
WD-40, man, it does things to some men.
That's so weird.
It's arousing, but not in an entirely sexual way. Just go,
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I get hard when I smell it too. Okay, let's go to 2000. And 2000, okay, press the button. Okay, this is the Rugby League World Cup. Where the fuck is everyone? There's no one here.
Hang on, mate. You take us to the wrong World Cup. They're playing soccer here. Look at the ball.
Ah, shit. I must have gone to 1966. Who cares who won that year? Okay, let's go back in. What other year should we go to? We'll go to one more year. Give me one more year. What'd be a good year to go to? Don't get us fired.
I was going to say, let's go to 1998.
19.
Just go back a little bit.
98. Oh, wow. It's a whole new era just started.
Yeah, and look, St. George and Illawarra are about to stop being separate entities and create a brand new entity where they're called the St. George Illawarra Dragons.
That's so cool. You know what would be really, I think would improve what we're seeing here in 1998 is if you took that Balmain team, right, and you merge them with that West team, I reckon you'd end up with a really fucking strong club for years and years and years.
Why?
Because.
No, why?
Because. It'd be like, you know how Siamese twins are really strong because they've got the strength of two people?
No.
At least that's what I read once in a book. It's 1998. We don't know shit back here.
I thought we were good. Well, why would you subject me to this? This doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound like a nice thing to happen.
Don't you? What if you had the power of a tiger and you just shoved a fucking magpie into it? Don't you reckon that'd be the best of both worlds?
No, that feels like taking the engine from a Morris Minor and putting it in the body of a Formula One car.
Yeah, but still, hey, they've just shut down Balmain Leagues Club for some renovations. That'll be nice when it opens, hey?
What could go wrong there?
It's a really nice location there in Roselle. It's it'll be fine.
I mean, there's no off-street parking really, but you could just take the. Oh no, there's no public transport either. And it'd be fine.
You know, I'm a bit worried about the fucking Adelaide team and the Perth team. I just don't think they're going to be around much longer.
What if we merged them and put them in another city that doesn't play rugby league?
That is a fucking great idea. They're not going to be good for ages, though. Like, they're probably just going to be fucking also-rans, but, you know, no skin off my nose. I mean, if you've got another fucking lower table team in another city, good luck. Good luck being any good.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we should send this thing back to wherever it was it came from.
Okay, come back in. Okay, that's 2025. Okay, exit. All right, we're back.
Hey.
Yes. It's so calm here.
It's very calm.
Wow.
It's very calm. It's good how you can take a trip down memory lane. You can go through history. You can look into the future.
Yeah.
And a lot of it just feels cozy and comfortable because it's a lot samey.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's wonderful.
Plenty to look forward to.
So, yeah, that's what I think about Darren Lockyer and all this news.
Yes.
Why don't we start talking about that?
I don't know. I'd be surprised if he lasts 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
I did see someone say, where did Darren Lockyer get all this money? And I went, mate, you don't have $15 in the bank?
Yeah, seriously. Like, there's a reason that people were able to take out loans on their houses in England to keep fucking teams going. Because it doesn't cost much. Because they're fucking not worth anything.
Yes. I mean, you listened to the Salford episode we did. They were taking out payday loans to look after their bills.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost much to run these clubs, which is why the Salford drama is so absurd.
It's like buying a $1 house in Detroit. It's like there's a reason why these things are easy to get.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Well. What club were we talking about?
I can't fucking remember.
That's right. Oh, we'll talk about Manly because it was.
Of course. Yeah, we were doing a season review in a sense.
Well done, Manly. Let's move on. I don't know what the hell we're going to do.
Who's next?
Parramatta's next. Man, they have climbed the ladder hard these last few weeks.
Yeah, they started the season off really scary, and then they lost Mitch Moses for a lot of this season, and that hurt them. But yeah, they finished really strong. I think they'll be in the finals next year. It was good to see, and they were playing really exciting footy too.
Yeah, they won 6 of their last 8 games. 3, 4, 5. No, 5 of their last 7, sorry.
That's
5 of their last 7 games, yeah. And they beat Brisbane 22-20. They lost to Melbourne 16-10.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Cowboys by 1. They lost to South by 4. And then they belted the Roosters 30-10. They beat the Warriors 26-22. And then they, oh my God, just eviscerated the Knights 66-10.
Yeah, there was quite a while there where I thought they were going to get to 80.
Yeah.
And it was exciting, but then it sort of, the game settled down a little bit. But yeah, they looked really good. I was pleased with what I saw out of them. And, you know, Jason Riles, you don't know if he's going to be a good coach until he coaches. And he seems like maybe he's going to be an all right coach, which is good to see.
Yeah. It's if they keep playing the sort of attacking football they were playing in those last few weeks, they're going to be the most exciting team to watch next year.
Yeah. It'll be good fun.
It will be. 12th place was the Cowboys, and I thought they were a miserable, hateful thing to watch all year.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't sack Peyton. They just seem a bit directionless, and it just doesn't really seem like there's much of a plan there. They've got some good individuals, but it just as a team, there's so much shit. You know?
They had 5 wins since round 9.
God. They've just been terrible. It's really weird.
Mediocre. Absolutely mediocre. The wins they had this year, after their first bye, which was round 7, they beat the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
They had the 30-all draw with Penrith. Mm-hmm. They beat the Tigers twice. Mm-hmm. They beat the Titans the second time. They beat the Dragons and they beat the Knights. I don't think they beat a team that was above, say, like 12th or so on the ladder.
That's crazy.
After round 7. So, I mean, before that, they beat South in round 6. The only wins against teams that finished in the top 8 were Canberra and Penrith.
They need a really good clear out, you know. They need to... I think they need to try and move on from Taumalolo. I think it'd be good for him too, because I don't know that they know how to use him with the way they want to play. Drinkwater I would get rid of. He does have exciting games sometimes, but overall he's not good. They're just not a very good football team, and it's weird because some of the individuals you would like them on in your team, but it's just not working. But I think the writing was on the wall when they got Bateman. I think that showed they were looking for some sort of fix that was not going to happen, especially with him. He was fucking atrocious again.
It's someone who I don't get the raps that some people have on him. Yeah. Is Reece Robson.
Yeah, I
don't even know how he's got himself an Origin call-up. It baffles me. I just don't see what it is.
Yeah, I'm the same. I watched... There was the last few weeks of their season, I was really watching him closely. And I was like, he's all right. That's it.
Mate, he's basically John Morris. I'm not being shit on John Morris, but what he is he just passes the ball off the deck to whoever calls for it.
He's just all
and
right,
he can tackle.
It's not like you watch him. It's not like Mitch Kenny out of dummy half. He's not a dummy half runner, really. But at least you can say to him, defensively, he's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's not like Robson has anything amazing to his game at all.
No.
So I don't get it.
That's the thing. When you're coming up against, at Origin level, your opponent is, Harry Grant.
Mm.
You kind of want to have someone who can compete with him to some extent, play-wise, skill-wise.
Yeah, that'd be really good, hey?
And as much as, I always bring him up because they did play, the careers were against each other the whole way through, but Cameron Smith and Robbie Farah.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie Farah had the sort of game that could keep a team in a contest with someone like Cameron Smith. There weren't many other hookers who were able to go and do that sort of thing at the time. When he first started, it was Danny Badderas comfortably. And I mean that. Badderas was comfortably the better hooker out of him and Farah.
Yeah.
But Badderas retired because it's the end of his career when that happened. But, who else was there other than Farah who had the potential to at least give Smith some sort of competition? And Cameron Smith did mention Farah as one of his best rivals.
Yeah.
So there's a respect there both ways.
I was just shocked when we didn't pick Appy Coruscant. Hey, I was like, what are we doing here?
Well, this year we had, at the start of the year, we had Coruscant. Cook was actually playing pretty well, despite the Dragons not being great. And, there's always Blake Brayley who's been playing well the last few years, but he's been getting better every year.
Yeah.
And we had those three that were sitting there ready to go, and they've just gone, nah. I'm like, are you serious?
So I would have gone Mitch Kenny starting for the defensive stuff and then Appy Coruscant, and I would have had that sort of hooker rotation between them two, simply because we know it fucking works really good. We've seen it. But what do I know? Reece Robson.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Did not get it all year. 13th, the West Tigers.
The thing I liked about the way that they finished the season was that all of Benji Marshall's critics can go and eat big piles of shit, because the improvement in this team from when he took over a fucking shattered mess of a barely fucking fringe New South Wales Cup quality team. And he now has them going in a direction while they're developing young players. They're getting better and better every single week. And by the end of it, you got if they had a few extra wins earlier in the year, they would have been in the finals. They come home strong. And yeah, I think that they're really going to properly challenge for a final spot next year. Their consistency lifted, their defense got a little bit better, their attacking structure was better. They were just all round a better quality team. And you can see Benji Marshall is a fucking good coach. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. Best they've looked structure-wise in both attack and defence for many years, since Michael Maguire's first season and a half there.
Yeah, yeah.
But with a much better squad, a young squad too. Mm-hmm. A lot of potential there to move, keep moving up and keep getting better.
And isn't it interesting that they got Jerome Luai and added him to that young squad, and it really started a bit of a roll-on of players all of a sudden saying, oh, yeah, I will go to the West Tigers, and some quality players too. It's been really, really good to see. And Benji Marshall is building something, and all of them fucking critics in the media just gave him nothing. Or even halfway through this season, they're attacking him. And he's done so well. It's been incredible to see. I love watching Benji Marshall on the sideline. He stands there, stoic, and you've just got this competitive fucking monster watching on and breaking down everything. And he doesn't carry on like Ricky Stewart or anything. And he just watches the games, and I love it. It's so good.
And you're starting to see some of his, not just his personality, but some of his playing psyche starting to come out in some of the players on the field. Mm-hmm. They're not afraid to pop an offload, even if it's risky. Mm-hmm. They're not afraid to have a go at it and try and keep it going. And remember at the start of the year, Luai said, he sat down and he said, I can fix this team. I can help their defence immediately. I know what I can do to fix this team. And everyone went, yeah, right, whatever. Mm-hmm. Proof's in the pudding, people.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about Luai is, I saw people criticising him all year. And he's one of my favourite players, Luai. Mount Druitt boy, champion player, history maker. And so I'm watching him every single game. And the things he was doing defensively, like the cover tackles he made all year, or just getting up in other players' faces and lifting his teammates. And the work he was doing all year. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, what the hell are all these other people watching? Because I'm watching a guy go out and just be a leader out there.
Yeah.
And it was so good to see because they really got their money's worth out of getting him. It's been great.
It has. See, what surprising too is how well him and Dewey worked together.
Yeah.
There were times when they were 5'8" and centre, and there were times when they did play in the halves together. But they've formed a very strong combination.
Yeah.
To the point where you go, you know what? We found a way to survive without Galvin.
They got better once Galvin left.
Well, yeah.
A lot better.
So, and a lot of that is because Luai was able to shift back to 5'8", his natural position. Mm-hmm. And they've got a young Latu Fainu, who's the same age as Galvin, as a young halfback waiting in the wings. He's had a few games again this year. Mm-hmm. Very exciting prospect. He likes to take the line on, which is a good thing from a halfback. And I'd imagine he's going to be getting the starting gig next year. So he's going to get a full off-season working with the team and building those combinations and stuff. So the spine's looking like it's going to be a lot stronger next year as well.
Yep.
Which is, that's basically what you're after. I was a bit worried when they signed Royce Hunt and he said he was thinking about retiring because you think, his heart's not in it. But he's had a very, very strong year.
Yep.
And obviously May up the front had just a mammoth season.
He did. You know who got me, and he's come on so much at the end of the year, is the Samuela Fainu, the second rower.
Yeah, that kid has been an absolute talent since day one, but
By the end of the year, I'm watching a guy and I'm like, this guy might be the best second rower in the whole comp next year. Like, his work rate, his footwork, his aggressive defence, his offload, his ability to break the line and be through. I was watching him like thinking, oh my God, this guy is going to be a superstar if he keeps this up.
I liken him to a game of FIFA. Because, in game of FIFA, right, nearly every single person who plays it for the first time, their player is just chasing the ball around the field everywhere.
Yeah.
That's him. And the tail end of the season, every time the ball is somewhere, it doesn't matter if it's attack or defence, he's just always there.
And the thing was too, like his normal front on defence was good, his reads were good, but then the cover defence was like amazing, beyond amazing, like making tackles where he shouldn't have even been, but he got there. And he was doing all that towards the end of this year, and I was just like, oh my God, this guy, if he keeps playing like this, is going to be one of the best forwards in the game next year. And he could be a superstar for them. Like, he was that good. It was so cool that he was playing with his brothers, and his brothers are pretty good, but he is a potential superstar. I just love watching him play. He's amazing.
He stopped doing what a lot of young back rowers do, where they just park themselves on the side and wait for the play to come to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was doing that a fair bit last year and a little bit at the start of this year.
Yeah.
But, he started looking for work.
Yeah.
He started drifting in the middle a bit more, taking a bit of the pressure off the middle forwards, and he just became so goddamn dangerous.
The thing that gets me too is he can do in the middle of the field, he's really good, but then he can go out and outside and be really good as well. And he just is able to do everything.
Yeah, kids, and he's still going to grow. He's still going to get bigger and stronger.
He's going to be like a monster.
The kid's amazing.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of great young talent coming through there. And
look, his brother at halfback, Benji Marshall a few weeks ago said, look, he's going to make mistakes. I made mistakes when I was his age, playing in the halves. I don't care about him making mistakes. I just want to see the improvement. And he is improving. And you could see, the cool thing I liked about it is he would try things as a halfback. He would go for different sorts of kicks. He wasn't just trying to play a vanilla game just to keep his place in first grade. He was really trying things. And that's a good sign, because with a really experienced head outside of him, and Benji Marshall, looking after him as his coach, he's in a good place.
Oh, absolutely. He did get more game time this year, and I assume he's going to get the full season next year, which is, it's good. He's had a good taste to get there. He's already played 23 games in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. He hasn't been over inundated, so he's been able to ease into it a fair bit.
Yeah, and I guess the good thing is too, once he got consistent footy week in, week out, it was when the team really was coming good as well, which he played a part in. But it didn't mean he was going out there and being in teams that were getting thrashed, and he's putting in these different types of kicks, and it wasn't getting chased, or it would be a mistake overall to put in those attacking kicks because his teammates were letting him down on the result afterwards and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to look forward to next year. You must be bloody excited for next year, are you?
It's a little bit. There's a bit of hope.
Yeah.
Hasn't been there for a decade.
You got hope. Oh, shit, no, Andrew.
Only a little bit.
Oh, Jesus, Andrew.
See, I've been around long enough to know that a little bit is the maximum amount you're allowed to have as a West Tigers supporter.
Yeah.
But it's good to have it back again. It's like going back in the time machine to about 1998. Next is South, and it's hard to be too severe on them given they had just an absolute mammoth injury toll this year, which cruelled their playing stocks. When they started getting their players back at the very tail end of the season, started winning games and looking competitive and looking strong. Mm-hmm. But boy, they do have a bit of deadwood in the side.
Oh, so much of it. And Wayne Bennett took over a team that was put together basically already and did the best with what he had. And them injuries destroyed them. And he still did really well with what he had. Lewis Dodd was brought over on a giant deal and is probably one of the worst contracts that we've ever seen in the NRL. And Wayne Bennett was pretty upfront about that. But, I think it was good of them to avoid the wooden spoon because there was a point there where it looked like, how can they not win it? And they managed to not win it by their efforts. The things that I would say is that I think it's time to move on from Latrell Mitchell, and that's not that I don't think he's an incredible player when he plays. He just doesn't play enough, and Jai Gray was amazing for them this year at fullback. And
absolutely was.
Cody Walker, he's going to stay there at Souths, but they've definitely got to look at who's next.
He's 36 next year.
Yeah, so they've definitely got to line up whoever's next. I think that young dude that they had in their side, I can't remember his name, skinny young dude, he played above his weight and he did do some things every so often that I was like, he's...
Oh, was that Jamie Humphries?
No, he's the halfback. He's the giant halfback they've got. Let me find
Ashton Ward?
It might have been him, yeah. But there were just things in his game that said to me, this kid has an understanding of the passing game and dynamics of a good 5'8", and when he gets some more weight on him, that'll help him a lot more. But yeah, they definitely need to bring in some new blood into that team because, as you say, there's a lot of dead wood there that Bennett was saddled with to start the season.
Yeah. Latrell Mitchell, mate, we've been just waiting for him to have that big season and waiting, and he's now 28.
And we're in September and he wouldn't be able to play next week if they were playing, It's the same.
He has not played 18 games in a season for South yet.
Yeah.
After 6 years at South, he's played 86 games. In his 4 seasons at the Roosters, he played 96 games.
Yeah.
So, man,
you can't keep doing it.
No, and he only played 11 games this year and 11 games last year.
And wherever he went would be a gigantic addition, and he would be a superstar for him because he's a superstar.
Oh yeah,
I think that for them to be so reliant on him as their basically number one superstar and the next best player is quite a step down. I just think that at some point it would be addition by subtraction in that you would just get somebody in like what Jai Gray did a lot of this year, where he's not Latrell Mitchell, but man, he plays really good every week. He plays his heart out, makes a difference. And, someone on the field makes a bigger difference than someone off the field at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think they need to just stick with Latrell at centre. I think they need to move away from the idea of having him as a fullback or a 5'8". I just put him at centre because if he gets injured and you've got to replace him, it doesn't impact the structure and the attacking plays. You just replace him with another centre instead of trying to replace him with a spine member who has a completely different play style and you've got to change everything around him. That's what I'd probably do in that regard. The other player too that they've got there is Jack Whiten, and it's not entirely on him. He's been moved around and they don't have a plan on what they're doing with him either. And another one of those signings where you just go, why?
Yeah. He'd have been a really good addition to a lot of different teams in the league, but not South. He just
wasn't required at South.
No.
And I always liked Whiten as a fullback. I think he was less effective when they moved him out of that role. But now that he's in his 30s, you can't move him back to fullback now. But leave him at centre. And if you had a centre pairing of Whiten and Mitchell and they're fully fit, that's pretty goddamn impressive. Amazingly strong ball runners.
It is, yeah. But at the same time, do you want that much of your salary cap wrapped up in your centres like that?
Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
That's the problem. And that was the problem when they signed Whiten.
Yeah. So they tried to justify it by trying to move Whiten into the 5/8 role. And even when he's at Canberra, like, he wasn't a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Just wasn't. But yeah, they do have a bit of an aging roster there. Alex Johnson, everyone was watching him with bated breath because he's closing in on Ken Irvine's try-scoring record. It now has to wait until next year, but he's only 2 tries away.
Yeah. I put some money on him because I want to win money, even if it's a little bit, when he does break that record.
Yep.
So that's going to be great. It'll be something to look forward to for next year.
I think he's only 30, so by rights, he's probably got another 3 or 4 years of playing left.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year he's still scoring close to a try a game, 15 tries in 16 games.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing that you saw in his game that made you think, oh, he's getting towards the end of it. And wingers, you see it as they're kind of like 5/8s, halfbacks, where a winger, all of a sudden you're like, oh no, because they go from being like, you're a try scoring winger to like, he's dragging his ass around now. But he didn't. There was none of that with him, which was cool.
Yeah, he still looks very impressive. And I think he might have finished the season as the top try scorer. Oh, no. Yeah, the club's top try scorer. Comfortably.
Yeah.
Despite playing 16 games. Now, there is one player that they've got at the Bunnies who, man, I absolutely fucking love. And it's all based on his effort plays, and that's Tallis Duncan.
Oh, yeah, he's an interesting player, hey?
Mate, he just does not quit on any fucking thing. That kid is amazing. Like, he's a back rower. But for most of this year, because of the injuries they had everywhere, he was playing at centre. And he was, more often than not, their best back on the field.
Yeah.
He's just, man, I got huge raps on that kid. I fucking love the way he
got
plays.
Stuck in. He is what the media thinks Victor Radley is, hey?
Yes. He's one guy. I think every single club out there would go, yep, we'll take him if he was on the market.
Yeah, he's one of those players, isn't he, where it's just like every single game, he never took a game off. He never took a run off. He never took a play off. He was in it. And yeah, I bet Wayne Bennett loves that dude.
Oh yeah, man, he absolutely would. That guy is just fucking amazing. Cannot wrap him high enough. I just love the effort plays he's got in him. He never quits on anything. So that was South. I do think they're going to go better next year. They do have a lot of. They should be performing a lot better than that. Although, as you say, they've got a few people that they need to start figuring what they're going to do with them. Lewis Dodd and Cody Walker, particularly because they're playmakers and they're getting paid a fair whack. Walker wasn't bad this year, just injured and missed a lot of games.
Just injured. When he was playing, he's still got it. It's just the injuries got him this year. And I liked what he was doing with Humphreys, the halfback. I like Humphreys at halfback. He's a big, strong dude. And, he really wasn't one of those guys that everyone was thinking about starting the season with at Souths. And he got the job and he just looked comfortable in there. And as I said for a long time now on here, like, if you get a young halfback in and he just looks comfortable, leave him. Don't change anything. If it's working, don't break it, Yeah. And so I'm comfortable starting the season with him as the halfback next year and see how he goes, because I was pretty impressed with what he did this year in a terrible team at the end of the day, just because of injuries.
Exactly. Next is the Dragons. And I will say this, very unlucky side, the Dragons, because they were playing like they deserved to get the wooden spoon this year and they just missed out.
It was weird because partway through the year I was hearing people say, oh, Flanagan, he's doing it. He's so good. And I'm watching them and I'm like, what am I missing? And so it turns out I wasn't missing anything.
I was going to say, after round 7, they were 5th on the ladder. But after round 7, they won 5 games. 2 of them were round 11, round 13, and they had a bye between them. So that jumped them up to 6 on the ladder. But yeah, after that run, 3 wins and just a bunch of losses. And their attack started becoming more and more, resembling a side that was coached by Shane Flanagan, who doesn't know how to coach and attack.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, when the halves were failing, it was never his son. It was always the other player. And they got Lachlan Ilias. He fucking trashed him early on. And that was that. Ilias was never going to play for them fucking for very long after that. And he just kept on trashing the halves, except not his son, because it couldn't possibly be his son, because that's my boy. And then, so you get the package deal of him and his reserve grade quality, Ron Massey quality son as a halfback. And you've got Gutherson running around at the back there, who's never won anything ever, at any level ever, acting like he's fucking Wally Lewis. He's cosplaying as Wally Lewis.
But compared to Kyle Flanagan, he is.
Well, yeah. But, and then, as the season went on, it was funny to see, some Dragons fans really coming to the realisation with Gutherson that, wow, he's really always missing tackles when someone breaks the line, and he doesn't really run the ball much at all. But he's got that leadership, but he's never really led anyone to anything. Yeah, what's going on here? And it's yes, welcome to reality, folks. Look at how happy Parramatta is to have moved on from him.
Yeah. The Flanagans are basically Timu Clearys.
Oh, mate, that's overstating it. Is there something below Timu? Is Wish still around?
I don't know. Kyle Flanagan is so poor. And I mean this with greater sincerity. The Dragons would be doing themselves a favour if they went inside Chad Townsend next year.
Yeah.
Because even though Chad Townsend is pedestrian in attack, he's consistently the same pedestrian in attack.
Yes.
And you can work with that. Kyle Flanagan just seems to have varying degrees of pedestrianism, and he has 2 plays, and that is kick to the left wing or kick to the right wing.
He makes Brad Schneider look like the sort of halfback you would describe as mercurial, where you'd be you're like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? Like what I normally say when he's playing for the Panthers. And then every so often he'll do something that's okay, and you'll be like, oh, no,
they'll pick him again next week now.
Fuck.
Yeah, the Dragons have a lot of problems with their roster, and a lot of those problems start with the bloke who's coaching the club.
Yeah.
They've got next year, based on this year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players over the age of 30. So it's definitely a Flanagan squad. He likes the 30-year-olds.
Yeah. Sully had a good season for them.
He did, but I mean, then again, he's just one of those players that will always have a good season. Yeah. He's a very good player.
I'm trying to think of who else really had a season.
Look, Damien Cook did have a very strong season. He was again one of the leading runners at a dummy half.
Yep.
He was constantly trying to get his forward pack on the front foot. He was playing a lot more direct this year, which is when he's at his best. But no one was working with him. He was basically playing a lone hand in the middle.
Yeah.
Little wasn't too bad coming off the bench. They were working pretty well in tandem.
As a combo, yeah, I like that as a combo.
Sloan wasn't too bad. He scored a ton of tries this year. He was pretty good. It was good that they shifted him to the wing. That made a bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Nullified some of the handling areas he would sometimes get a little bit prone to when he was at fullback because kick the ball an awful lot more there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a huge amount to write home about. There's
no.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I still firmly stand by the idea that I don't think that Flanagan's a good coach at all. I think that all his success come from means by which we have covered historically, and Glenn has talked about it quite a lot in emails. Jeez.
Glenn kind of needs to just take a break from it.
I know. The stuff
it can consume you,
It can become overwhelming, Glenn, and you just keep saying these things about that Sharks team and everyone involved with it, and the coaching staff and everything.
You just needs to settle down.
Yeah. Like, we're not saying you're wrong, but man. But yeah, I think that everything I've seen out of Flanagan so far at the Dragons kind of confirms a lot about what I think of him as a coach.
Yes. Next was the Titans.
Oh my!
Do
we care? God. Do we fucking care? Who cares? They don't care. Why should we care?
They're basically, aside from the finance side of things, that doesn't even work because they're a little bit more consistent. I was going to say they're like the Salford of the NRL, but Salford occasionally wins games.
Yeah, none of them care. Like, I thought it was funny seeing people say, "Oh, poor Des Hasler." It's like Des Hasler knew the deal. You go there.
He's part of the problem.
Everything sucks, and you get a payout at the end of it. Like, that's the deal. And no one goes there to play and actually win anything. You go there to chill out and hang out. And, I thought it was funny with all of the stuff about Kieran Foran and like, oh, Kieran Foran's been great for them. It's like, no, he hasn't. He sucked. He fucking should have retired 3 years ago. He's been shit. And then Big Tino needs to get out of there, and I think he will. And Jaden Campbell, I'd get Jaden Campbell out of there. Brimson, I would also get out of there. I think he's a quality player. And the rest of us just throw it in the bin. Who cares?
Yeah,
I'd say that, and I feel sorry for Titans fans, but the team, just the team, none of them give a shit. None of them care.
No, their defence this year was non-existent, just utter trash. That's if that's your defensive attitude, then you're going to finish last or close enough to it every year. There's not much more to say about that. And finally, oh my God, Newcastle, the most deserving wooden spoon team of the year. I didn't think any team deserved it more than the Dragons or the Titans, but fuck me, the way the Knights finished the season, they earned it.
They kind of weirdly went after it somehow. I never thought they would get, 6 weeks out, if you had said the Newcastle Knights are going to win the wooden spoon, I'd say, yeah, they need 3 or 4 teams to be fucking better than them. And they did it.
Their defence in their last, 3, 4, 6 games was so dire. So here's their scores. They lost to Canberra 44-18, lost to Penrith 48-12, lost to the Cowboys 38-4, lost to the Broncos 46-12, lost to the Sharks 40-16, lost to Parramatta 66-10. I did a thing before their last round game.
Yeah.
Where I compared the Knights this year and their 24 games, because I was looking at their attack at the time.
Yeah.
And compared it with the Newcastle team that played in 1908-09.
Yeah.
Because they both played 24 games.
Yeah.
And that team in 1908-09, who, let's remember, they learnt how to play a rugby league in 1908 while they were playing the game. At one stage, they were being shown field positions using a pack of cards in a trial match. Right? Let's not forget about that. They scored 323 points in their 24 games, and that included a game against the New Zealand Test side and 3 games against the New Zealand Maori side.
Mm-hmm.
The Knights this year scored just 15 points more than them.
Wow.
That Newcastle side only had 3-point tries as well. Let's not forget that either.
Yeah. Far out.
My goodness.
I remember there was a point early on in the year where it's like, look, they can't score tries, but they're not bad defensively. It turns out they're terrible defensively, and they can't score tries.
Their attack was so mediocre. They averaged 14 points per game this year.
And they, there was the thing of they got Adam O'Brien, gave him a big deal, said, he's he's a good coach. He's been an assistant coach under fucking Trent Robinson, who I don't think's a good coach either. And then, so magically he was a good coach, and you and me, like, were saying he's blowing his top straight away. What the fuck's the deal there? That's never a good sign. And, you know, I loved it halfway through the year where they suck and the Newcastle fans who are there in giant numbers start booing the team for not putting in because they were not putting in, and he starts attacking the fans, and then he ends the season getting sacked. I thought that was beautiful. I thought he got the wooden spoon and the end of his coaching career that he fucking deserved.
An absolute charlatan of a coach.
Yep.
In my view.
Yep.
The attack this year was so miserable. And given the roster this is the roster he built, you look at it and go, what the fuck are you doing? How can you have a roster that has Greg Marju, Dane Gagai, Kalen Ponga as basically your back three, and you can't score points? Like, you've got those two wingers in Gagai and Marju, if they're your wingers, two of the most strongest ball-running players you've probably got in the NRL. And Ponga does have ball-playing capabilities. Basically, it's the same play he does all the time, but hey, it fucking works. You can't score points with those three at the back? Well, what the fuck are your halves doing?
And then mid-season, they signed Dylan Brown to a $14 million 10-year contract, which is like, what the fuck, right? And then immediately, Kalen Ponga's like, well, that's a lot of money. Where's my money too? You know, which I completely understand. Mm-hmm. They've been eventually guided around by Jack Cogger, which I'm sure wasn't the plan. They kept on going back to Jackson Hastings every so often because, like, when you can slam your cock in the car door, why not keep doing it?
Fun.
Yeah, it's just, you know what? I'm going to try this again. And it just, what an absolute disaster. Just the worst run club. I think it's definitely the worst run club in the NRL now. You can look at the people that they're looking at for that job, and it's just like, oh, this is just going to continue for poor Knights fans. It's a mess. It's a fucking mess of a place. They need a private owner and not the guy down the road that happens to own a bunch of land. You know, they need an actual private owner that has made their money doing something real and that is willing to buy into the Knights club, even if they don't live in Newcastle, and turn it into a, you know, professional football outfit for the new millennium, because they're still an old school dickhead football club. Surrounded by...
Maybe that's what Darren Lockyer should have put his money into.
That's maybe. It's so fucking crazy to me that we've got a club that poorly run and that, like, all their expenses are covered, so they'll never go broke.
Yeah. Well, there are a few highlights, not many.
Okay.
And that is, Jaden Brayley played every game for this year, and he only missed 2 games last year.
That's good.
After all of the knee issues he's had over the last three or four seasons prior to that, it's good to see that that's all good because he is a damn good player.
He's going off to Canberra next year too, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's going to be good over there because his style will work well with what they're doing over there.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was there? There was Thomas Cancer. Looks like a good utilities back rower. He's got potential. Fletcher Sharp had a big season. He scored 11 tries. He's the only player to get to double figures for tries this year.
I thought Bradman Best was pretty good this year. I thought he always looked strong. He always looked, he's a lot of good go forward out wide.
Yep. No, I can't argue with that.
You didn't have to watch their games. That was positive. Like
that did help an awful lot.
Yeah.
The only other thing too I'd say is, do you remember several years ago, and I do mean several years ago,
mm-hmm.
this like amazing edge running second rower that the Knights signed called Tyson Frizzell.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I mean,
do we need to fire up the time machine again?
Go back in and be like, he's playing for Wales.
I can't believe that you've got an absolute behemoth of a forward like that, and you don't know how to get him involved in the play. But Adam O'Brien found a way to make him completely fucking hidden and not used in any way whatsoever other than either the batting ram or just a tackling machine, and that's all he fucking did. They did not use him for any attacking play of any value whatsoever all year. And I just don't get it.
Can I just go on record as saying, if ever I hear one fucking person at Origin time say the word Saifidi, I am going to find them and smack them personally. Like, never again, ever again.
Never.
Yeah,
you know what? I think there should be an absolute moratorium on selecting any players for Origin from the Knights until they can get themselves back into the top 8.
I agree. And, like, at this stage, I really do hope that Matthew Johns coaches them. Because they're entertainment now. Like, they're not like the Titans who just don't care, so I don't care. Just make it funny. You know, it'll be the funniest joke he's told in fucking a long time. Matthew
Johns is coach, but he needs to have Hindy and Fletch as his assistant coaches.
Why not?
I think that's bound to work.
You know what's weird? They wouldn't do worse than Adam O'Brien.
No, that's true. That's true. And that's not talking up the new entity either.
Oh no. Yeah, that'd be so terrible as coaches. Yeah. It's man, what a crap season they had. They'll get crowds of 20,000 at home. Isn't that crazy?
We've said it before, like, I cannot and will never ever say anything bad about the Knights fans because, my God, they're the most devoted fan group there ever is.
Yeah.
Remember those seasons they had, 2-3 wooden spoons in a row and they still kept turning up in fucking thousands.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve better than what Adam O'Brien dished up to this fan base this year.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for them. Like, it just shows how much they love the game that they keep turning up.
And look at the roster he's built. Look, you can't work with it. It's slop.
It really is. It really, really is.
You know what they need?
What?
They need Nathan Brown and Brian Smith to go and then put a broom through the line.
How dare you? What about a triumvirate of Nathan Brown, Tim Sheens, and wouldn't that be funny?
Oh.
Get the 3 of them in there. Do a review of the club, and then it's like it gets to the end and they say, wait a minute, you all did an independent review and said you need a new coach and it should be me. What the fuck is that all about? Then you snap a pool cue and say, we're having tryouts.
That's got to happen. Well, there you go. That's our end of season review for those teams.
Yeah.
Have we got some more emails?
No, I don't believe we do. I didn't see any other emails through. So.
Well, I did have a Twitter interaction.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Today, with a rugby union fan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I found one somehow.
That's pretty crazy.
And he was quoting a tweet by the Wallabies Twitter account, which said that Saturday's Test match is a sellout.
Okay.
And he said the last NRL match to be sold out at Allianz was in 2018. And I replied with, so International Rugby Union is now trying to compete with club-level rugby league. Cute.
Mm.
And he replied with, very happy to do like-for-like comparison with International Rugby League games if you like. Just here sharing facts. So, as you know, not one to back down once I've started one of these interactions. So I've replied with, sure, let's compare at international level. Direct involvements with Nazi-aligned governments, which was used to delete the other code and rape it of its assets. Union 1, League 0. I haven't had a response from him.
Yeah, that's a rough one. It's a hard one to sort of talk your way around. Hey, Nazi collaboration.
Well, there we go. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you cause some troubles on Twitter sometimes, Andrew. You're such a scallywag.
Very waggish indeed. What else has been going on? I know what else has been going on. Mm-hmm. You've been playing with a bit of Lego. Not just a bit of Lego, and an absolute mountain of the stuff.
Yes, I got gifted a Millennium Falcon, not the big $1,200 one. It's the one that's down from that. I can't remember what they call it. Is it play scale? I can't remember what they call that scale. Anyway, it's about a foot around, and I can't remember how many pieces it was in that, maybe 2,000, 1,900, something like that. And it was very fun to put together. I'm going to upgrade it. I'll get some pictures up on my Instagram account sometime over the weekend of it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I got that. You know what we do need to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know we've got the preamble out the way, but we are a Formula One podcast at our core.
That is right, yes.
We should talk about the Formula One and what happened.
Yes, we should. So last week was the... are we talking about last week's race or the race before? Last week's race.
We're talking about last week at
Monza.
Oh, Monza, yeah.
Yeah. So... for those of you, I mean, obviously you're all listening, so you're aware of the championship race, and Oscar Piastri is out in front, and his teammate Lando Norris, who I think, let's be honest, McLaren has decided that he's going to be their next world champion, even though Oscar's doing everything to prove otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
He's running second in the championship, and they decided to go with a one-stop strategy at Monza, which most teams do. But given that the laps are so fast, because it is an absolutely fast track, and they don't have many laps there, the race is usually over and done with in just over an hour. And as the race is coming close to the 1 hour mark, neither of the two McLarens had pitted. And they have to. They have to pit, and they have to put on different tyres to what they started with. So they speak with Norris first because he's front. He's leading the race, so he gets to choose what he wants to do. And he suggested that Oscar pits first so as to cover off third place, so he doesn't drop back any further on the, in the order. So that was seen as a team decision. So he comes in and he pits. Great pit stop. Out he goes. He's done his job. He's covered his spot. And then they bring in Lando the next lap. And the pit team absolutely fucks it. And he's stuck in there for an extra 4 seconds longer than what Oscar was in there for. And just as Lando's coming out of the pits, Oscar flies past, and he's now in front of Lando.
Just a shame. Happens in racing. It's just sometimes you got to be lucky rather than good. And that's how the race finished. Oh, wait a minute. No, it didn't.
No. So Papaya rules came in. So Oscar, because Lando did the unselfish thing and did team orders first, and we've fucked up the pit stop. Are you able to just go back a position and let the guy you're competing with for the championship just get a few extra points on you, and you let him pass you? And then they tried to make it out like it was the same as what happened the year before. But the year before,
yeah,
they weren't 1 and 2 competing for the World Drivers' Championship, which has been forgotten in this whole conversation.
Yep.
So he's gone, oh, well, I didn't think it applied to, pit stop errors. I thought it only applied to racing decisions on the track while we're racing. But okay. And he does what he's told. And Lando goes through, but, obviously Max Verstappen had a better pit strategy, and he wins the race. Lando finishes second, Oscar's third. And when Lando gets on the podium to get his second place trophy, he gets booed the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. I've seen the championship leader be allowed to pass his teammate to win the championship or get more championship points. I've never seen the leader of a championship being penalised by his own team for a mistake they made with the other driver. And then the crazy one for me is the coping mechanisms of the fucking English, press over it, and hearing them say, well, yeah, that seemed like the reasonable thing to do. And it's like, that's never happened before. I'm sorry, that's never happened before.
So trying to compare it to what happened, what was it, Hungary last year, where, and let's remind ourselves, the team were pleading with Lando Norris for several laps to do the right thing. And he eventually did it right at the end of the race and just gave the most hollowest of victories to Piastri. And it would have been Piastri's first Grand Prix victory.
Yeah.
And instead of letting him have it legitimately. Yeah, it gave him this absolutely watered down, hollow fucking victory. Not memorable at all in any good way for him.
No.
And so now he's going to say, oh yeah, I'm being a team player now. It's like, fuck off.
I couldn't believe it. And Oscar Piastri is a better dude than me, because I would have just said, no, I'm not doing that. I still, even today, I just think it's crazy that they even thought that, and what their priorities are. And, they're turning themselves into a laughingstock. They've won the Constructors' Championship just about, and they're going to win the Drivers' Championship as well. But people are making fun of them for this, and they deserve it. They thoroughly deserve it. And I saw people say, it was funny hearing some of the usual suspects saying, well, yeah, and we've heard it a couple of times this year, something I've never heard before. Well, Lando was the quickest all weekend, except he didn't, he didn't qualify first, and he didn't have to race fucking the lap record, and
so
he didn't win the race. And
on that,
yeah.
Do you remember how Lando actually got into Q2 and Q3?
Well, he was drafting off the back of fucking his team.
Piastri. Yes, yeah. Piastri had to go out. Piastri already set a good enough time, but he went out and he was giving Lando a tow.
Yep.
And on the second time he did it round, it gave Lando a higher place on the grid.
Yep. It's incredible to me. It's just absolutely incredible. And, I don't know why you wouldn't just chuck everything behind the guy leading the championship by this many points at this stage. Piastri's been a better driver over the course of the whole season. We know that because the points tell the tale,
Yeah.
And this whole thing of Lando's been the quickest all weekend, and you're like, what the fuck does that even mean? If you lose the race, if you're not in first place, don't say that shit. That's embarrassing to say,
That's right. It's, yeah. I was just watching it going, oh man. For once it wasn't Lando bottling the race, but his team did it, so that still counts. Because he just finds a way to completely ruin every race. Usually it's at the start.
Mate, the week before when his car broke down on him, super unlucky. I saw Peter Windsor saying that Oscar was that Piastri was ahead, right?
Yeah.
And he was quicker, and that he slowed his car down just enough to make Lando speed up and drive his car too hard, and therefore his car broke. And it's like, what type of fucking wizard do you think Oscar Piastri is? That makes no fucking sense at all.
But even if he did that, how is that Piastri's fault? Isn't that not smart? Is that not 4D chess shit?
It's crazy the coping mechanisms they're coming up with to try and talk around things that the rest of the planet looks at and goes, what the fuck is going on? It's
crazy because I think there's a very strong chance that Piastri wins the Drivers' Championship this year.
Yeah.
And I also think with all the regulations coming in next year is very much up in the air. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the team McLaren, who have always seen Lando as their number one guy, are seeing this as possibly their best chance of getting him a World Drivers' Championship. And I'm not saying they're going to try and manufacture it to help him out in that way, but they're going to do what they can to keep Lando as in the hunt for as long as possible on this.
The thing that got me is you got Piastri, who's an Australian, but, his last name's Piastri, and he's in Italy. And Ferrari fans are going off their heads, and they're booing his teammates. And all I could think of was like, man, that Ferrari team, new regulations next year, Hamilton's not happy. Like, there must be some people talking. There's got to be. Like, if I was Ferrari and I saw that happen in that race, I'd have just been to Mark Webber. Like, wouldn't it be nice, Mark? And he'd say, what are you talking about? It's like, you know what I'm talking about. Wouldn't it be nice? And that's it. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, I think because these next regulations are big, like they're changing the way the cars are constructed and the downforce and all sort of stuff. So these are the biggest changes we've had since the hybrid era began, basically. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's not many driver changes at the end of this year, because everyone's going to be just seeing to find out what the teams are doing next year. And once we get a bit of an idea on form for next year, yeah, I think that this time next year there's going to be drivers shuffling around everywhere. And Piastri's going to be the guy they're going to be throwing an absolute fuck ton of coin at. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if, remember this time last year there was talk that Lando might look at going to Red Bull. I wouldn't be surprised if Red Bull's gone, yeah, you know what, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
He can stay at McLaren for as long as he wants.
I think with Piastri's shown enough at such a young age too, where he's so steady as a driver, and there's so many boxes he ticks that he's going to have all of the big teams going after him. There's Mercedes. There's talk about what they're doing with their drivers next year. I keep going back to Hamilton just being fucking miserable at Ferrari at the moment. I know it's a lot of money and moving parts to move a driver as expensive as he is. Like, you've got to talk to fucking the board members of a giant organisation to make that much money move. But he's in a good place. He's leading the title race. He's in a very fast car. He's been the best driver all year, and he's going to be able to name his team just about. And so he's in a good place. But it's crazy that his team is making us even talk about this, because if we're talking about it, imagine what the fuck he is thinking about it all.
Yeah. The benefit he's got is that, he does have age on his side. And he can just walk out into the paddock somewhere and just go, all right, who wants to throw me some cash?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's just so chill.
He's super chill.
He's a fucking assassin.
He needs to drive for Ferrari. Everyone wants to drive for Ferrari. It's not. Yeah. It's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari.
Now, the other thing I wanted to raise too is the race before, which was in Netherlands, Zandvoort.
Yeah. Shit track. My God. Why'd they bring fucking sandbox back?
And, towards the end of the race, Leclerc went into the sand trap somewhere. He just walked off and he sat on the hill on the inside of the corner. Like, no one bothered to take him back anywhere. So the camera crew was just wandering around taking photos of him just sitting on the hill. And the memes from that are amazing. The best one I've seen is someone took the picture of him sitting on the hill and they put it on the hill that was the famous background of the Windows XP background. Just put him up on the top.
That's pretty funny.
And then that was the same race that Lando's car broke down, and he was sitting down on the inside of the track somewhere, head and hands. So someone had a picture of him next to Leclerc, and they had like a picnic blanket out there, and they're both looking miserable. I did like Sandford.
I hated it. I fucking hated it. I thought I've never watched a race at that track because it was gone for like decades, and I haven't been awake for it when it's been on. And in qualifying, I was looking at it, and I'm like, there doesn't seem to be a great deal of overtaking opportunities here. And then the race started, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Why'd they bring this fucking shithole back?
To be honest, most of the trucks that they've got in the F1 now are not great for overtaking, which has kind of necessitated the regulations coming up of making the cars a bit smaller so as to try and promote a bit more overtaking.
Yeah.
Maybe just don't have so many fucking street circuits would help.
Yeah, true.
But then saying that, I think they locked Monaco in for like 10 or 15 years or some shit.
I love Monaco, though.
It's just not good for these cars, though.
Oh, it's terrible. With these cars especially, they're gigantic.
They're too huge.
Yeah.
You just can't get around them. So it's just a procession. The last 2 years at Monaco have been an absolute joke of a race.
They've been terrible. It's a common theme that you can't have it too long or too wide. It's got to be just the right size, you know? Because if it's too long or too wide, it's just silly. Yeah, you just don't need it that long or wide.
That's right. I think we're saying with some of the American tracks that they've been trying to bring in.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. Well, is that it for this one, you reckon?
That's good. We should put a fucking bow on it.
We will. Well, let's bow it up and send it off into the ether. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure you check us out on all the socials. Please like, subscribe, everything on YouTube as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. And until next time, we'll speak to you next time.